I'm Leo, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the role of the pantomime dame in British pantomime and how that role's evolved, because it is a passion of mine. Now, this chap you can see on the screen is a guy called Dan Leno. He was the first ever pantomime dame. He developed the role in 1860 at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane in London in a production of Babes in the Wood. Until that point, there actually hadn't been a man badly dressed as a woman as part of some kind of community theatre venture. Pantomime had already been established as a kind of Victorian theatre phenomenon, but it was Dan Leno in 1860 who kind of took on that role of the dame. And the dame is quite an important role. It's become an integral part of pantomime, and pantomime itself is a very quintessentially British form of entertainment. It doesn't travel very well, and I don't know whether too many people are familiar with that. But now, of course, it's a seasonal entertainment, and most towns, cities, villages, church halls will put on some kind of pantomime come Christmas time. Now, you're going to start to see a few images of me now, because pantomime daming is in fact one of my passions. And 150 years since Dan Leno developed the role, panto's still strong in every community. The reason it's very community-based is it can be parochial. It makes references to local people, local politicians, newspapers, shops on the high street, and it just lends itself to a lot of community-oriented fun. The dame has a particular role. It is a comedy role, a slapstick role, and it acts as the conduit for all the humour that needs to come out in the pantomime, as well as a kind of knowledge of the local reference. And that's why you'll find even in kind of big-scale, star-studded celebrity pantomimes, the dame is usually taken by a local person, so that they are familiar to the crowd, to the local audience, they can relate to them. And one of the dame's roles is to relate to the audience, to engage with the audience, but also to engage with lots of other characters and ensure that that slapstick and that farce happens. So characters like pantomime horses, characters like the villain or the baddie within the particular tale, characters like the hero and the heroine. The dame will interact with all of them. I think it's fair to say that being a pantomime dame, pantomime being a bit of a culture, being a dame becomes a bit of a lifestyle after a while, and I think that's fair to say whether you're a professional dame or an amateur dame like myself. And as you get into being a pantomime dame, you're kind of called upon more and more, you always try and get bigger and better than the year before. It's quite interesting. There's not any competitive nature about being a dame. We're not competing with each other. We've usually got our own shows and our own pantomime to do. But the things we do for our art, we do learn how to apply our own makeup. We have a selection of accessories, fake boobs, that kind of thing. And over the years, you do build up lots of costumes, lots of hats, lots of dresses, lots of feather boas, earrings, jewellery, makeup. But it does mean you get your own dressing room in whatever theatre you're in, because you can't fit anyone in there on account of your accessories. So just go on to why we actually do this thing. Well, for me, it's engaging with the community. For me, pantomimes are all about community, family-oriented fun. From age 4 to 104, people can get involved. The dame is key to that community involvement. The dame has to engage with the audience, with the children, with the people on stage, bring it all together. Some pantomime gimmicks, just going to talk you through. There's usually a ghost scene where the heroes and heroines are picked off and the dame's left on stage because the ghost is frightened of the dame. There's usually an excuse for some just looking plainly daft and singing daft songs, like in this instance, singing YMCA with some of the other characters. But pantomime essentially, and the dame in particular, is all about fun. Custard pies, messy scenes, exploding ovens, making fools out of ourselves, picking on the audience. And invariably the dame ends up with the villain of the piece or the baddie in the pantomime. Not quite sure why. Usually the baddie's trying to do some harm to the hero or heroine or steal the treasure, and as a penance at the end, he's hooked up with the pantomime dame, or the man dressed badly as a woman. And while the hero and heroine go off living happily ever after, the audience are left to ponder what will happen to the dame and to the villain. And they're kind of key ingredients to panto. But this slide for me sums it up. It's got me on the end as the dame, and one of my daughters is Snow White in the middle a few years ago. That's in the church hall. It's all about engaging your community, bringing people together, bringing the community together. It's written by, performed by the community, for the community. And that's whether it's at parish level, village level, town level, city level. That's a Spot the Dame picture. That's a gathering of dames, the grand order of pantomime dames. And I couldn't really end without, if anybody does want to see a dame in a community panto, I shall be appearing in Puss in Boots at Crosby Civic Hall on the middle 2 weekends of December. And you're all welcome to come along and see that community theatre in action. Thank you very much.